Hey guys, so today we're going to talk about John McAfee's untimely death, how it happened, his impact on the crypto world, and Edward Snowden's warning to future people who may be next. So with that, let's go ahead and get started. So for those who don't know, John McAfee died by apparent suicide in a prison in Spain, and basically it was whenever he found out he was being extradited to the US after he's been away from the US for so long, because he knew he would spend the rest of his life in prison had he come to the US. Now, he's always been a big proponent of cryptocurrencies. He really got people into it in 2017. He was doing a lot of pump and dumps, basically where he would mention a coin, it would pump up a lot, and then it would dump, a couple hours later. But he was a big proponent of cryptocurrencies and privacy and anonymity. And one of the videos he posted actually just a month ago, he said, 3 years ago, I predicted a war between governments and crypto. He says, the war is on and I'm now a major target. Do not be afraid. Crypto is our last hope for financial independence. That was May 24th. And as you can see, a couple days ago is when he died. Now it says right here from BBC News, antivirus software entrepreneur John McAfee has been found dead in a Barcelona prison cell after a Spanish court agreed to extradite him to the US to face tax evasion charges. So he was really big. He was saying taxation is illegal, the government's corrupt, and he's very against the government and really for independence. And it says, on October 2020, John McAfee was arrested in Spain when he was about to board a plane to Turkey and accused of failing to file tax returns for 4 years, despite earning millions from consulting work, speaking engagements, cryptocurrencies, and selling the rights to his life story. So you can see, again, he had a lot of stuff, he had a lot of money, but again, he didn't pay taxes, he had stuff under different people's names, and basically he was just trying to evade it in any way he could. So he went to different jails in different countries, but never returned to the U.S. because, again, I believe a couple of years ago, when they did file these charges on him, he fled from the U.S. and has just been bouncing around, going to different prisons. He'll, whether get held up for bringing weapons over to a country, etc. He ended up actually, again, taking his own life, unfortunately, in Barcelona prison. Now, again, saying it's suicide, I mean, most people are saying it is. Again, it's anyone's guess, right? But basically, just from what I'm understanding, is he knew he would spend his life in prison if he went back to the U.S., so he didn't want them to have the last laugh. But I mean, it is a sad thing because John McAfee was really a big proponent of cryptocurrencies, love him or hate him. He did bring it into the limelight. So he's definitely had some differing opinions, but he was really big on that privacy, and it's unfortunate that he had to go the way that he did. So hopefully, other people don't go in the same way. But another story is Edward Snowden and basically his warning to Julian Assange, saying that he could be next after John McAfee dies by suicide in jail. So those who don't know Julian Assange, he's basically the WikiLeaks founder, and he was the person who had a lot of stuff, during the presidential elections. He leaked a lot of stuff out, and Julian Assange was really a big target on his back because he released a lot of, people say, confidential info and just info that was not readily available. But he found that info and he released it. He wanted to make it all public for everyone to see. So again, Julian Assange was not a bad guy, but he just released a lot of info that people didn't like, and people thought it, swayed elections. So there's big opinions on Julian Assange, but regardless, Edward Snowden, who, for those who know Edward Snowden, he's basically the NSA guy who leaked all of their information and basically exposed the government for spying on its citizens. So again, you have a lot of stuff that's been going on, a lot of corruption going on, and apparently Edward Snowden thinks that Julian Assange could be next because when and if he does get extradited to the U.S. So definitely keep an eye on that. It's really kind of weird, in the way that there's so much corruption going on, and really people don't want you to speak out. So that'll be something to keep in mind. And Edward Snowden says Europe should not extradite those accused of nonviolent crimes to a court system so unfair and prison system so cruel. The native-born defendants would rather die than become subject to it. Julian Assange could be next. So again, Edward Snowden knows a lot. Again, he's worked for the NSA. He has a lot of insight into that. So just something to keep in mind. I thought it was a good article, and just something that's always, you never know who's next in this, these strings of basically corruption. So it'll be interesting to see what happens with that. But again, it's sad to see McAfee take his life, and if that did happen, and just, he did have a big influence on the space, and hopefully that wasn't the end of his influence. Hopefully his legacy carries on, and people still tried to, fight for that freedom and just, have the right to express yourself and really, kind of dabble in this cryptocurrency space and kind of make the world better by doing so. So with that, if y'all had any questions, please leave them in the comments below. If you want to follow me on Twitter, I have the links up there, as well as join my Discord. I have the links as well. But with that, till next time, thanks for watching.